Okay, so we've managed to track down one of the key panelists from this morning, Kris. And Kris, we had a great chat, sort of actually just out on the street yesterday as we were walking the vehicles, and it was really kind of cool to just sort of catch up and chat a little bit while we were walking that way. And we were going to carry on the conversation this afternoon about some of the things we were talking yesterday, and really some of the key components in terms of building out social media strategies these days. And you have some very specific, I think, points to make about that, and I think we agree on them. So that's what I really love about what we're about to talk about. So why don't we talk about what do you think one of the key things that folks out there should know about in terms of developing a strategy? Because there's, frankly, and I'll say it before, it's the elephant in the room that there's a lot of folks out there trying to say that they're all experts today, right? And the low barrier to entry, the technology, I think, allows for some of that to happen. But really, when you dig deep and get below the surface of just the tools, there are many other things to consider. So what would you think would be the number one thing that folks should consider?
Well, I think you're right that there is a lot of confusion kind of in the marketplace right now, and we see that because it's just such an emerging field. So there's this new thing that people know they need to be doing it, and they're not really sure what's going on. And we see a convergence of like PR professionals moving into social media, online marketing professionals moving into social media, search engine people moving into social media, all these folks who traditionally had different titles kind of moving into this space without a lot of differentiation between them. So there is a rush to get online, to get out there on the social networks like the Twitters and YouTubes and Facebooks of the world. And I think that's very important. But I think that without a plan, that people will find it frustrating and potentially even fail. Right. And so in an effort to develop a plan, I've been helping companies set up listening posts around the internet. Essentially, people are feeling a lot of information overload. There's all these channels and just stuff coming at them all the time. And so it's how do you extract the really good, yummy chunks out of that? And so I'm helping the people figure out how to use things like RSS, Google Alerts, Technorati things, to get a glimpse into the internet that not a lot of people have. So I'm setting up kind of some dashboarding tools around brands and names where, for instance, I have a personal pane set up for myself where if someone uploads a photo of me to Flickr and tags it my name, it appears in a box. If someone if this video goes on YouTube and you tag my name, I'll get a notification of it. I search Google Alerts, Google News, Technorati, Ice Rock, all these places to try to get a view into what's going on out there. So as much as talking is important, talking at people probably won't help you get to where you want to go as much as really, to have a true conversation, you have to listen as well. So I'm trying to help people figure out who's talking about you, what are they saying, and then what are the best places for you to get involved in the conversation? Where are the places where you can kind of really harvest the low-hanging fruit, and then move out from there, right? There is a lot of information coming at us, a lot of data, tons of people to deal with, and so it's about making some sense of all the information such that you can make actionable strategy and decision around that.
So let's talk a little bit about Kris. Before we got to today, though, there's a really great history that you've built up over the years. First of all, you were the owner of Bright. You started a company called Bright. And what year was that?
2004. I co-founded a company called Bright with a guy named Boris Mann and a guy named Roland Tanglau. And Bright was an open source online community company. Essentially, we used an open source product called Drupal to set up a whole bunch of online communities, and our goal was really to make it push button style. So you could go to our website, you could create a name for a community, enter your username and password, and press submit, and it would spin off a site that had all the common features of a social network like MySpace or Facebook. So the ability to connect with other people, modify your profile, post videos, have conversations, do different things like that. So it was like low-end, low-cost community publishing in 2004. And so we saw a lot of churches, soccer teams, corporations, group collaboration where they were really essentially like quick up and then throw away online community sites, And we sold Bright to Rain City Studios in 2007, and Robert Scales was the president and CEO at the time, and I took the presidential role, and he became CEO, and he moved to Shanghai where we opened a second office, a development office.
Which is a great segue, by the way, Kris, into the fact that you're going to be speaking at TED in Shanghai upcoming, right? Yeah. Congratulations with that. I think that's going to be fantastic.
I don't really even know what to say. It's very flattering that I've been invited. I've been a huge fan of the TED Talks for a long time. I've always wanted to go, and they're doing the first ever one in China, in Shanghai, on June 16th. And I'm going to be just talking about open media, open culture, open source software, open everything.
Right.
Yeah.
Open everything, which is kind of the roots, it seems, of your activities online. So, in terms of your next media experience, what is like the number one takeaway you're going to take away from this experience thus far?
I think, Next Media is the small brother of the Banff World Television Festival. So what we see here is a lot of quote-unquote content producers, people who make films or animations or shows or ideas. We see them here trying to get their head around the emerging landscape. And specifically what I mean is like online audience acquisition, new digital distribution models, new ways to take content that we have the rights and the license to, and to find new channels for getting that out in order to make more money, build a bigger audience, increase the stature and relevance of our brand. So spend a lot of time here with people with director titles or producer titles or online advertising titles for broadcasters or networks, and just help them try to figure out what the fuck's going on out there? How can I be a part of it? What is this new thing? And everyone's telling me I got to do it, but what do I got to do once I get there? What's the real important stuff? So just trying to help kind of mediate the newness of it all, right, and then help them kind of develop strategies for getting their own selves online and get out there and participate in kind of the excitement that's going on online.
So you're freelancing now primarily. I know that yesterday you spent the majority of the time with your camera lens just zooming and going, which of course here at Banff, I mean, there's no bad view really. So freelancing is the plan for the future?
Yeah, I got a few things going on right now. One is my photography. I run a photography studio in Vancouver called Static Photography that focuses on fashion photography and bands and portraiture and stuff. So people photography, high touch stuff, super personal, high personality type stuff. And I love doing that, and I've been able to find a few nice, steady clients. I work for Arson and Orb, two big fashion brands in Vancouver, and I do all their lookbooks and catalogs, so that's great. It's like 3 high-end shoots a year that take care of a lot of my expenses and things, and then I'm doing a lot of consulting about the things we've been talking about here, so kind of much like yourself, just helping people figure out a strategy and some tactics for getting themselves online. And I'm excited to say I'm doing that with the Vancouver 2010 Olympics. I'm helping them figure out some of their stuff, specifically the Cultural Olympiad and the Davis Suzuki Foundation. And I have a proposal in with National Film Board to help them do some of the same kind of stuff. So just trying to be a trusted advisor and guide as we enter into this new online arena.
So really not just doing nothing. You're actually, it sounds like you're quite busy, in fact.
I'm less busy than I was before because I have, I don't have employees and I don't have, I don't have an operating revenue budget that I have to meet every month and stuff. But yeah, I'm mixing photography and then the kind of like online consulting and strategy. And then the kind of third thing I do is I teach at Vancouver Film School. So I end up doing a lot of just like talking like I do at Next Media or TED or VFS, where I'm just out there kind of sharing or evangelizing or just kind of giving people my unique philosophy and perspective on these things and trying to help them figure out how they can use it to meet their goals.
Well, that's really cool, and so I really appreciate your time to come by and talk, and it was great to meet you, and I know that we'll keep in touch, I hope, online, and we'll follow, of course, the talks. I can't wait to see them on TED, so that'll be great.
I just want to give one shout out to Robert Montgomery and Mark Greenspan of Achilles Media. I thought you guys have done a great job here with Next Media, and thank you for inviting me to come out, and keep up the good work.